Well, I think the bottom line is I found Christianity to be true. What does truth mean? Truth is just what is reality. That's truth. And what I have found is that the evidence of science, cosmology, physics, biochemistry, genetics, human consciousness, points toward a supernatural creator who looks a lot like the God of the Bible. And the evidence of history tells me that Jesus not only claimed to be the Son of God, but he backed up that claim by returning from the dead. That kind of evidence I found to be powerful and persuasive. And it convinced me that Jesus is who he claimed to be. I put my trust in him and then began to grow in my relationship with him. And so that evidence, while it's still important to me, while it still matters to me, while I still go back to it from time to time in terms of my own faith, my faith today in Jesus is based on the fact that I've known him personally now for all these years. That background information, that's good stuff. But the reason I believe Jesus is alive, that he's real, is because I know him. I talked to him this morning. We have a relationship. It's like my friend Peter Grant said. He said, if you go to the office on a Sunday, on a Saturday morning, and you want to know, is the boss in his office? And you see his car in the employee parking lot, in his parking place, and you feel the hood and it's warm. And you go up and you see a light coming from underneath his door. And you listen at the door and you think you hear his voice on the telephone. And then his secretary's there and you say, is the boss in today? And she says, yes. Based on all of that evidence, it would be logical to conclude that the boss is in the office. But then if I knock on his door and he opens the door and I see him and I talk to him, now I don't need that other evidence anymore. It doesn't mean it's bad evidence. It's still good stuff. It still led me to the point of knocking on the door. But now I believe in him because I met him, because I know him, because we talk, because I see him, because I'm interacting with him. And the same is true in my relationship with God. All of that evidence is important because it led me to faith. But now my faith isn't built just on that evidence. It's also primarily built on a personal relationship with God.